Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus back again. Earlier, I posted a video and I was talking about confessions. I was telling you that I have failed God. And I completed that and I posted it. And when I closed out, I knew that I had left something off. I left you without the finished message as why I have failed. I said I'd done all I could possibly do, but I didn't explain why and how I had failed. So I thought I'd better come back and kind of clear that up. Otherwise, what I said before won't mean a thing. Here's how I failed. All that I have said, you heard me say, I come to give you God's message. That's part one. And I have done that. But there's a part two. And what is part two? The part two is to live that message. And I have not lived that message. Why haven't I lived that message? For the same reason that most of you won't even try. To live God's message, to live the message of God in this world, in all of this muggy, all of this, well, let's just call it what it is, hell. To live God's message in hell means that you're going to be killed. Everybody's going to die. But to live God's message in this world means you're going to be killed. Why? Because Satan can't have it any other way. Any other way. Because you're living God, you're living the will of God is the thing that draws people to God. Talking about God doesn't mean a thing. Talking about God allows people now to get into church praising God, twerking. Talking about God allows people to ask you to give them thousands of dollars planting your seed because you're going to get some back and you're doing it. Talking about God is nothing but straight up deception. And it's accepted. It's accepted. But living the talk is not. For those of you who believed in Jesus, there is evidence. And I'm not going to go to the other religions, other faiths. You know, you fill in the blank. But here in America, one thing you and I both know, there have been two men that have brought the message to us and walked it. That was Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And hell said they got to go. Why? Because people were drawn to them. Do you see when Dr. King was out here, did you see the Christian people calling themselves the believers? Let's put it that way. The believers were being drawn. Evil can't stand for that. Do you see how Malcolm talking about Islam and how people were being drawn? Evil can't stand that. Hell can't stand that. They had to go. And they're gone. The message lives on, but look at the preachers today. What effect do they have? Nothing. I mean, they should be ashamed. I am. That's why I'm confessing. Look at Malcolm, Islam. People who are out there advocating Islam. What is it doing? Is it drawing people? And if it is, to what end? Well, there's no threat to evil. There's no threat to the hell because it continues right on, right on. I don't care whose voice is speaking. Doesn't mean a thing because you're not walking. I have not been walking. I'm sitting here and I often say, I want to pass on out of here without any pain. I often say that it would be wonderful if I was able to go to bed at night and go to sleep, feeling comfortable, and never wake up again. That's what I have often said. And that's a sad statement for a person who's living in hell. I mean, it's okay if you can say all of us at our time to transpire out of here could have the luxury of just lying down, going to sleep, and no more. But we're living in hell. A hell that we have played a part in the manifestation thereof, and it is what we are presenting to the future of humankind. There are those of us who are asleep, can't do anything about it, won't do anything about it, and they will be walking into this hell. But anyone that's fed with the love of God, the knowledge of God, won't accept this. And so they will stand and walk according to what they will do. Now, I've said, I don't let it be quick. In fact, I just be honest, dear true. I wanted to make evil angry with me to the point that those people who, like, you got your racists and you got your bigots and you got people that's I wanted to stand up at least to the point that they couldn't stand me and take me out. I'm not lying. I mean, I really feel wonderful about guys like Dr. King, Malcolm X, Jesus, and Gandhi and others. That's beauty to me. No, I'd love to have all of the things of life that I say are great, but that just for some strange reason doesn't rub me the right way when I see you out there working on a car because you can't afford to get it fixed. When I see you out there struggling, and I see people who think that they are so much more than you. Oh, brother. But maybe this is my beginning to take that walk. Maybe. It's a good thought. Let's see where it goes. Sunday comes around. You're going to go to church. And I want you to know, it's just talk. And then there are those of you who are going to be out there fixing soup lines to make sure that the brethren who are hungry, who are in need, that you are there to satisfy that need. I want to ask you this. Anybody trying to kill you for that? Is anybody being drawn to that for any other reason than just to get the food? So what is your message? You will help them get a sandwich, but you won't help them to live. See, this is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Would you want to be in a soup line? No. So what would you like for it to be? Yes, you'd like for it to be right on time. So we got to make it on time. So here again, I have failed, but being able to acknowledge it. And I see people all the time. Oh, let me just say this before I go. I've heard a lot of people try to put down what you do. But your gifts and talents that you got, they are gifts from God. When you see an entertainer, let's say entertainer, or singer sing, and you know what I mean, or Whitney Houston, or Celine Dion, or Tom Jones, or James Brown. I mean, these guys can get down. Those are gifts from God. When you see those who can portray different stories of life and messages as if they were real, those are gifts from God for a purpose. When you look at the architectures of structures, when you go into some cities and towns and you have to go around bridges that have been built, because of the structure and the things that they want to do with the land, and these bridges, that's magnificent. These are gifts from God. Some of these mansions that are built. I mean, you walk back, you look at them, and you say, wow, where did that come from? These are gifts from God. Those who can make clothes, gifts from God. Those who can do anything and have the opportunity to do it. Came here to do it, and they do it. And what do they get out of it? Joy, first of all. Happiness, second of all. And the opportunity to live their dreams, because everything that exists on the face of the earth that they desire, want, and need is available to them as they choose to. That's heavenly. That's heavenly. That's worth you turning your back on Satan. That's worth you turning your back on the devil. That's worth you turning your back on a lie. That's worth you turning your back on death and begin to live. Perhaps there is a heaven that you go to. I don't know that. I heard that. I don't know that. So I'm not going to be advocating going to heaven anymore. I'm going to advocate the heaven that you can be in because you were playing a part in it. And you'll know it because if it's not existing, then somebody's going to try to get you out. Remember. Okay? Goodbye for now.